So I'm having a chat with Giant of Bloodywood. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. We've been playing a new single of yours called Tadka. Tell us a bit about the single.
Tadka is basically you know, a love letter to Indian cuisine itself and a cooking of a mother. This is one thing that we miss no matter where we are when we are, touring and all.
Mm.
So this is one thing that we miss. This song is for anyone who is, either traveling or whatever and just misses their, like, be it their mother's cooking or their caregiver's cooking. Sometimes that nostalgic meals that you need just to uplift your spirits. It's a homage for all of them, so they can use the song. Not it's about Indian cuisine because it's from our perspective, but it can be, used by anyone.
Mm. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
most definitely. And that's off for your new record, New Delhi. When it comes
Yes,
out,
sir.
what can we expect to hear on the record?
It's coming out on 21st March, and you can expect a whole bunch of new stuff, a whole bunch of experimentation, the same spirit, but with a lot of power.
Nice, nice. And the sounds that you've made with this record, was it the sound you wanted, or is it just how it turned out?
So we don't, let any formulas come in the way of when we make music. We let our emotions and the music itself dictate how it's going to go. And that's exactly what we did. We just let the music take over. It kept building on its own, basically. Karan would start writing the instrumentals and he will go ahead with his feels. And either we'll have a topic about that from the beginning, or we just listen to the instrumentals and just go ahead with like, what do you think this music is speaking? And that's how we took over. So there was no sort of no formulas, but basically our emotions taking over the entire thing.
Mhm. Nice, nice. And I'm sure
Yeah.
you wrote more than what made it onto this record. What happens to
Yeah.
those now?
Either they will get used on the next album, I'd say, but basically, I mean, there are a whole bunch of songs that we were like, hey, maybe we should work more on it rather than just like it would be a disservice if we, just go ahead and make it into a song because right now we think it's not ready enough. So probably we'll be going forward in the next album.
Nice, nice. And you've been releasing
Yeah.
music now, I think, since 2016, 2017 time. How
Yep.
have you evolved? How has the music evolved over those years?
Back then, we were, just creating some parodies or metal renditions of songs because we just wanted a set of eyeballs on us so that when we release original music, people are there to hear it. From there, a lot has changed in terms of how we now produce records. A lot of changes, like Karan has gotten his game up very high at this point with the level of production he has. Same goes for me and Rahul in terms of just lyric writing. We've become more efficient in recording our vocals. Earlier, it used to be just like Karan will sit there. Now we just do it on our own in the studio. I used to take like 12 to 13 to literally 24 hours just because I was never happy with the take. And these guys would be like, hey, it's sounding the same. You're just hurting yourself now. Uh, Now I've started to let these things go and just record faster. So these things have changed a lot. But yeah, apart from
Yeah,
that, it's the same old fun in the studio like it has always been.
yeah, good. Do you feel like you've now found your sound and what Bloodywood is, or is there more things you want to try to see if they work for you?
I mean, experimenting is a thing that will keep going on no matter what. We will keep evolving with time, you know. But right now, we're very happy with the sound we have. We have actually started calling it metal tikka masala just because we feel it's very spicy too. It's not just your plain old metal, it has that, you know, a little bit of tadka that if I can say it myself in our sound. So we're very happy with it, but it's a constantly like you evolve with time. And that's what's gonna happen with us as well, because that's how it is basically.
Yeah, good,
Yeah,
good. And I like to talk about the writing side of things as
yeah,
well. So for
yes.
you, how do the tracks normally start off?
So it either we'll have like a hook with us already in verse, or and which is actually the case 90% of the times is like Karan will jot down a whole bunch of ideas and then he'll start working on it. Either he'll send us the full track with the first chorus at least, or he'll send us a riff and we'll start, writing on it, and he'll keep com so the song gets reviewed throughout with like, oh, I've completed this intro, or I've completed till first verse, I'm still going for the chorus. What do you guys feel? Do you think we should take it forward? Blah blah blah. So our writing process is generally that, where we'll get the instrumental or certain inspiration in terms of like a riff or a verse, whatever it is, and then we just like build on it, and we basically start discussing the topics again and have our own small like a group discussion of sorts, and then we start writing lines according to it and just like try to fit everything and see how it's working. If it works, then we move forward. Otherwise, we just keep reworking.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And tell us a bit
Mm.
about the lyrics as well. How easy do you find it to create the lyrics to the music that's already there?
I mean, honestly, once we have, the set of either be a message or we feel the emotion, generally, uh, lyrics just like trickle down. You just don't have to think too much. But sometimes, and this comes down to me personally, because when I write in Hindi, it's a little more complex. When I say complex, the usage of words and all is a little heavy. Even like the Hindi speakers wouldn't understand a few of those. So these guys have to just like sit me down and be like, hey, speak, like, write easy. Write something that everyone can understand. That is where the problem for me begins, because I've grown up reading a lot of Hindi poetry, and I have a keen interest in Urdu because I just feel it's a very elegant language. Same goes for Punjabi. I do not understand a whole bunch of it, but I mean, sorry, I do understand a whole bunch of it, but it's hard for me to write because again, I've not learned the language. I've just heard it, and that's how I've grasped on it. So basically, for me, first I write what I want to say, then I dumb it down for myself so that it's not very heavy, and then I see the usage of words in terms of which one bounces more, which one will sound better, but the meaning remains the same. So the initial idea is generally what carry forward, and yeah, sometimes it's just like you don't even have to think the songs, the lines are just coming to you one by one, and sometimes you just gotta think and be like, hey, this kind of sounds rude. Basically. So that is how it works for me, at least in terms of writing the lyrics. With Rahul is basically he'll do the same thing, but with a whole bunches of paragraphs, and we just what happens with me happens with him as well, in terms of just like, hey, we'll review it all together. Sometimes there are lines where we'd be like, hey, we can change it, and this can be a better one. But apart from that, it's just a smooth process.
Yeah, nice, nice. And you get to play well, you've been playing these tracks live for the last
Yep,
couple of months. You've been doing a nice big tour. How have the show's been so far?
amazing. I mean, either they get sold out or we just like end up not selling like the last 30 tickets or 25 tickets. And that is those are the ones that hurt a little bit because they're like, hey, almost there. There's like 99.9% of them sold. But the people make it up for these little things with so much energy. Like energy across the board right now on this tour has been just very, very heavy in terms of just crowds participating with you. Each and every one of your supporters is singing those lines. So it's a very, very, very great experience, I'd say.
Hmm. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And you've got a few dates still to come. You've got some finishing off Europe
Yep.
and here in the UK. You've got a couple in Japan as well. What else have you
Yep.
got planned for this year?
I mean, the plans have not been announced, so I don't have the liberty to speak of them right now, but they're going to be announced very, very soon.
Is that
Like
more
it's
touring?
almost there. Hmm?
Is
More
that
touring, and then obviously you're getting the album out, everything. So yeah,
yeah, nice. Is there anywhere you've not been to yet that you want to go and play?
we haven't been to Australia, Canada, New Zealand. These are the places that we have not gone yet, and we would love to be there. Because again, so many messages, so many comments just calling us to Australia, Canada, and also we're working something out for those as well. We're trying to figure out how what would be the best ways. Because again, you come from India, you gotta get a whole bunch of visas, which is fine. You just have to plan it very, very, very carefully. Because it has happened to us once that our UK visa, like it came in the evening right before we had to leave. Like we had to go ahead, run, get our passports, early morning flight for Europe. So we try to avoid those situations. And again, that was not our fault, by the way. That was the UK High Commission at that point. That was just like, hey, we'll give you your passport back when we feel like.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds
but
like
it's all
the UK
fine.
government.
It makes sense. Yeah. No, but again, like I said, it makes sense. We just are trying to maneuver all of these things properly because there are certain time limits when you got to apply for these visas and things not done at that point of time, or our passports are already with some other embassy at that point. So these things, again, like I said, are very um, tricky, and we're still trying to figure out how do we maneuver all of that.
Absolutely. Giant, it's been a
Yeah.
pleasure having a chat with you.
Uh, Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for your time. And